It's time for another Asics review. Good morning, YouTube! What's up, everybody? I hope you're safe, healthy, and happy, and doing okay. So last week we talked about the Asics Gel Nimbus Light 3, and this week we're going to talk about its big sibling, the Asics Gel Nimbus 24. I would say that the Nimbus is probably one of Asics' most popular shoes, and I tried a couple different versions of this shoe way back in like 2015. Before I had a channel, I tried one of the versions, and in the very beginning stages of my channel, I tried another Nimbus. Maybe it was like the 21, 22, I don't know. But anyway, this is the 24, and I think that this is going to excite a lot more people than it normally does. I have a couple runs in it. I have some thoughts about it, mostly positive. So we're going to get to all that today. But first, of course, you have to sit through the run footage. Ruby's running away. She's like, no run footage for me, please. Today, I do want to let you know that this shoe was sent to me by Running Warehouse and Asics. However, neither company is going to see this video before you. They can't tell me what to say, and all of my opinions are my own. The Nimbus 24 is 8.7 ounces for a women's size 8, but for my size 10.5 women's, this shoe came in at about 10.2 ounces. I should also mention that on Asics' website, they say that the Nimbus 24 is lighter than the 23, just some food for thought. It has a 13 millimeter drop for women. It's probably different for men. I'll put it on the screen somewhere. But for women, it's 28 millimeters of stack in the heel and 15 in the forefoot. And for me, the Asics Nimbus 24 is true to size. As for the upper, Asics is using a jacquard mesh here for the 24. I believe that it is a slightly different material than the 23. We have a fairly breathable forefoot here. And if we go to the midfoot, there is some structure. The Asics logo certainly does help to keep your midfoot on the platform. And the back, the heel counter, is pretty sturdy as well. This upper definitely seems improved to me. I actually have the 23, but I never got a chance to review it for the channel. I may have run it once, but this does feel a little bit more tailored, a little more innovative in terms of the upper. And something that I really like about this upper is the knit tongue. Now, they had this on the Nimbus Light 3 that we just talked about last week. I'll put a review link here. But I love this tongue. It's just stretchy, it's comfortable, it's gusseted, and it gives you such a nice fit around that midfoot. I think it's a really nice addition to the shoe, and I'm glad that Asics decided to think outside of the box and switch it up between materials, have a mesh upper but a knit tongue. I don't know, it's kind of cool. One thing I will say is that in the forefoot, I guess, like, how do I show this? Like, this is a little bit shallow to me, which we'll talk about later, but other than that, I think the fit is generally fine. The upper for me is pretty pleasant. I do think it's going to be a nice fit for most people looking for a comfortable daily trainer. It's not too breathable, it's not too hot. I think it sits right in the middle there. One issue that I do have with this shoe, and I'm not exactly sure if it's an upper issue or a midsole issue, but I guess I'll point it out here, is that I do get a little bit of a hot spot on the pads of my feet, especially in my right foot. I have felt it a little bit in my left foot. I have a couple runs in this shoe and it's gotten progressively better over time, but I still do feel it on each run at some point, no matter what sock I'm wearing. Now, I don't know if that's because of how, like I said, this doesn't have a lot of volume, it's a little bit shallow, or if it just has something to do with the midsole. Maybe we just don't agree completely, or it just needs some breaking in time. But it is something that I wanted to point out. Other than that, I don't have any issues or irritation. Overall, I do think that this upper is a very big improvement over its predecessors, and Asics is on the right track here. Now onto the midsole, which has some cool technology that maybe you haven't seen before. I haven't seen it before. Asics is using their Flight Foam Blast Plus cushioning here, and this Flight Foam Blast Plus is supposed to be lighter and softer than your standard Flight Foam Blast cushioning, while still maintaining that responsive toe off. Of course, in that heel, you probably saw there's a whole hunk of gel, and there's also gel in the forefoot, you just can't see it. And then right here in the midfoot, you can kind of see it, this plastic thing sticking out. That is a trussic system, and I think that's kind of cool that Asics has this in a neutral shoe. They say that it reduces the weight of the sole bed unit or the sole unit in the shoe while keeping its structural integrity. Interesting. I think that for runners, it creates just a slight amount of stability, which is very helpful. Even though this is a neutral shoe, it gives overpronators, supinators, terminators the ability to give it a shot because it does have a little bit of stability in there. And we love that. Thank you, Asics, for thinking of the stability runner. Back to that FF Blast Plus, I definitely do feel that this is a little bit softer, perhaps lighter than Flight Foam Blast. Now, I wouldn't necessarily call this like a max cushion shoe. I know that that's what it's marketed as, but for me, it's more of like a slightly heavy-ish daily trainer that really does offer a nice amount of protection. To me, an easy day shoe is like, or a max cushion shoe is more of like a Bondi or the Fresh Foam More V3 from New Balance. That doesn't really feel, this shoe doesn't really feel like that. I mean, it feels cushioned, but it doesn't feel super duper soft to me personally. I've taken this shoe on a couple different runs. I've taken it on some easier runs at like a 9-minute pace for me. I've taken it on some steady runs, 8:40, 8:30 pace for me. And then yesterday I did like a negative split 4-miler with a 1-mile cool down at the end. And I was impressed with how well this shoe did at a faster pace. I know it's not made for that. It's not a tempo day shoe, but it did nicely. And I think that the Flight Foam Blast Plus does help to get you up there on your toes if necessary. I think this shoe definitely has the potential to go long distance, double digit with ease. This thing can handle it for sure. Again, we'll talk about that hot spot that I get. I'm not sure if it's the upper or the midsole, but maybe it's just something about the midsole and the forefoot that irritates me. I'm not really sure. Maybe it's the gel. I don't feel the gel in the Nimbus Light 3. So I don't know if it's just some kind of construction here with this foam and the gel, who knows? But again, I'm still trying to work that out, figure out what exactly it is. Asics is trying to improve on their flight foams, and they're doing the Blast and the Blast Plus. It's awesome. And I think that when people used to really hate on Asics for not being innovative, take a look at this shoe, take a look at the Nimbus Light, the Nova Blast, and then come talk to me. Okay. Moving on to the outsole. Asics is using their new Asics Light Rubber. Asics says this is supposed to be lighter, stronger, and more sustainable than the standard outsole rubbers that they use. Now in the heel here, it also says AHAR Plus. So I don't know, maybe AHAR Plus is part of Asics Light, or they're using two different rubbers. Maybe there's some Asics Light in the forefoot and some AHAR Plus in the heel. I'm not really sure, to be honest with you. What I will tell you is that the traction on this shoe, it does great. I can't say enough good things about Asics rubber. I really feel like it grips on to that pavement and you just feel confident. You don't have to worry about slipping and sliding. I think that you're gonna feel perfectly at home here and comfortable and not freaking out that you're gonna fall. I'm impressed with the outsole AHAR Plus / Asics Light. The Asics Nimbus 24 is $159.95 on runningwarehouse.com. That's the same price as the Nimbus Light 3. Make it make sense, but it is what it is. I do think that this shoe is worth the price. I know it's a steep price. I know there are shoes that are cheaper than this, but if you're looking for a cushioned daily trainer, or for you, an easy day shoe if you like a little less of that super soft, pillowy, bottoming out plush cushioning, then this is the shoe for you, and I think $160 is worth it. If you're interested in picking up your own pair of the Nimbus 24, you can do so in the description of this video. I'll put a link there. You can click that link and hit buy now, buy your pair, go get it while it's hot. Keep in mind, this is an affiliate link with Running Warehouse. However, that doesn't mean much for you. It just helps out my channel so I can keep making these videos and, you know, hoping you find your magic shoe, your unicorn. I like this shoe a lot. I wish I didn't have that hot spot on the pads of my feet in it. I'm gonna try to take it to 50 miles because I really want to. And the hotspot is getting progressively better over time, so maybe I'll be out of the woods with that soon. But this is definitely a great shoe. I haven't heard of anybody else having a hotspot issue in it other than me, so it's probably a me thing and not an everyone thing. But you know, just gotta point out these things because what else am I here for, you know? Overall, I think Asics did a tremendous job improving on this shoe that used to be a snooze, and now I think honestly it's fun and exciting and something that people are gonna wanna pick up. Well everyone, that concludes my first run impressions of the Nimbus 24 from Asics. If you enjoyed this video, please like it down below and subscribe, and when you're done with all that, hit the notifications bell so you can find out every time I upload a new video. What do you think? You wanna upload a new video? I have another video for you next week, but in the meantime, get out there, get on the grind, and don't forget to run like Heller. See you next time. Hi. You're kind of in the way here, you know? I think this shoe can really, oh man.